Good evening to you. It has been a question for years. Does Lexington have a gang problem? We've asked police many times, and tonight, someone on the inside gives us an answer.
A man who calls himself an enforcer for the Latin Kings tells us from prison there are organized gangs in the city. In a WKYT exclusive, Miranda Combs talks to him and a crime fighter trying to stop gang activity in Lexington. It's our top story at 6.
It's been 7 years, but this is where a 19-year-old Lexington man's life ended.
I made my own choices. I know I made my own choices.
For the first time publicly, police pointed to gang activity for the reason Luis Quiros was shot in the head. One of the men responsible for his murder wasn't even there that day, but now he's here.
Why did you agree to talk to us today?
It's been a long time coming, I guess. You know, just to somewhat get my part out, because nobody's ever heard my side. It's always just been the blame on me.
Matthew Roby was known as King Red Dog, the enforcer, he says, in the Latin Kings.
What did it feel like to have that kind of power over a group of people?
To be truthful, at that time was great.
Police said at the time of the killing, Roby ordered Quiros, a fellow Latin King member, to be killed.
It wasn't supposed to be that way at all. He wasn't supposed to die or nothing.
Roby sat with us at the Kentucky State Reformatory in LaGrange, his home for the last 6 years. He says he ordered his Latin Kings to beat up Quiros because he says Quiros was dating a woman from a different gang. He says he never wanted him killed.
Do you have anything to say to the parents?
That's something I thought about every day.
Take your time.
I know sorry is not going to bring nothing back. But the fact is, I just hope they understand that's not what I meant to happen. Never meant him to get hurt that bad to end his life, because that took away a son, a brother, possibly a father. I mean, that's all I can really say is I apologize. But I know it's not enough, but
he says he feels betrayed by the gang that was supposed to have his back. He says the only reason he pleaded guilty to complicity to manslaughter was because his gang deserted him.
They just threw me under the bus, you know, started calling me an animal. You know, he's a bad person. I can't believe you do that. And they didn't know the whole story themselves.
That must have hurt.
Bad.
He talked a lot about brotherhood and loyalty during our 35-minute interview, pointing to tattoos on his skin.
You read it says, he who keepeth his mouth keepeth his life. He opened his lips widely shall have destruction. So I kind of...
So keep it to yourself?
Yeah.
You're going against that right now, though, aren't you? What's that say?
Change.
Roby says when he was living in Lexington, there were about 70 members of the Latin Kings. There were other gangs too, he says. Some more organized than others. That was in 2007.
When people ask me what I do, oftentimes I get, do we have that problem?
Greg Howard is the gang enforcement specialist for the Fayette County Attorney's Office.
But there is an issue with gangs here.
Bottom line on the gangs for me is, for what I see, is that yes, we have criminal gangs here. It is an emerging gang issue. I mean, we're not overrun with gang members by any means.
Just last month, 2 men and a juvenile were arrested for a Lexington murder. The 2 men claimed to be gang members.
Hey, we've had kids that try to identify with gang membership in elementary schools.
School-age gang members were arrested in Quiros' murder. Roby says he never recruited members from Fayette County schools. He says younger brothers would join and word would spread.
I don't agree with that. I think they do recruit people. I mean, I think they do. You know, people are a variety of reasons that they go to people and say, hey, if you want that to stop, you can come join our gang, or if you want help with that, you can join. I mean, I think that's not correct. But
Roby says he's still in the Latin Kings. It's hard to leave, he says, but he doesn't affiliate with them anymore.
And do you think they're still out there in Lexington?
I hear stories that they are. I don't have much contact with too many people anymore, but they tell me the story, and I just tell them it's time to grow up. I don't know what else I can say. End up here with me.
Greg Howard does say that Lexington police have a good handle on gangs. He says a lot of the gangs are what he would consider local gangs, but he says that doesn't make them any less dangerous. He also says it's not just Lexington. Most surrounding counties have gangs too.
So as I understand it, Roby told you that he grew up in the Latin Kings, right?
He did. His mother was a Latin King, and they came down from Chicago. And, you know, he even said, you know, I asked him, did you have a choice? And he said, yes, I had a choice the whole time to stay in it. So he has no regret or no hurt, anger toward his mother. But, you know, that's just how he ended up.
Seems remorseful now, at least. All right, Miranda, thank you.